Okay, so welcome back to another Cisco Packet Tracer tutorial. So today we'll be doing question 4 from the 2022 Test 1 Network Security Cyber Security first year. Yeah, so it says open Packet Tracer and do the following tasks. As you can see, I've already opened Cisco Packet Tracer. Then A, design the topology as shown on page 2. So let's go to page 2. So that's our topology that's we are supposed to design. So in Cisco Packet Tracer, as you can see, I'll drag my PC0 and then I'll drag my PC1. So to save time again, I'll pause the video, then do everything, then I'll continue. Okay, so for the wireless routers, what you need to go is to go under network devices, then wireless devices, then you need to select which is written 300N. So drag that as your router following the question. So that's the router you need to drag, not any other routers. Yeah. Okay, so for the connections, I'll just follow the sequence the way it is from PC0, then connecting them like that in a normal order sequence. So let me do that. Okay, so for the router, I'll use Giga1, then under switch I also use Giga1 for them just to match, so just like that. Yeah. And then this is the cable to connect same devices as we said earlier on in the video. So let's do that. Okay, so for wireless router, you need to select Ethernet, not internet. Then you continue with your connection, just like that. Okay, so we are done with the topology. So we just need to label. So as I said, this is the symbol for labeling. Then you can start typing what's on that question. So as you can see, I've labeled everything according to the question. So this is necessary for some lectures because they want to see if you can apply these things on your networks or your designs. So now let's see what question B says. So for question A, we are done, which says design the topology as shown. So this is the topology. Now B, configure all devices using IP addressing scheme indicated on the topology diagram. So as you can see, these are the IP addresses we are given on the topology. So I'll get this IP address under PC0. As you can see, we'll go under desktop, then IP configuration. Now under static, we'll paste that IP address and we'll leave the subnet mask as .0 because here on the question it says /24, which is .0 for the subnet mask. If you learned about subnetting, I'm sure you understand, but even in the previous video we did that. So now going to the default gateway, as you can see, we are not given any default gateways for these devices which were subnetted, but we have different gateways for other wireless routers. So I'll just leave it like that, there's no problem. Then I'll continue this process with configuration of these other PC and server. So I'll just pause the video. Okay, so for the wireless router, as you can see, you are not given any IP address whatsoever. So the best thing is just to tap on it, then under config, this port which is connecting the switch in the router, as you can see, is Giga1. So I'll just go here without putting anything, then on. So some of the lecturers will teach you on how to use these commands which are written below for you to switch it on, but this is just a shortcut, so there's no need to do that now as you have learned this, so that's okay. Okay, so now going to the wireless routers. As you can see, we have the default gateways and the DHCP IP assignment. So basically DHCP stands for Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol. So it's more like a server which will assign IP addresses automatically using a DHCP server. So we have static, which can assign manually, and the DHCP, which you can assign automatically. So this range will be used to give IP addresses to this laptop, and this range will be used to give IP address to this laptop. So I'll give an example for this first wireless router 0, then for the other one I'll just pause the video, then I'll do it. So uh, under GUI, which is graphic user interface, go there, then where it says IP address, you need to add the IP address, which is the gateway address. So it's dot 50.1, so just put 50, then dot 1 is correct. Now for the range, so for the range we need to start at 10 then end at 20. So here I'll say 10, then we need to end at 20. Now how many IP addresses are needed if we already have 10 to make 20? So it's 10, so we just add a 1 to make them 11. Okay, so you just need to go down, then save your settings. So now as you can see, the range is showing from 10 to 20. So the main reason why we were adding 1, is because dot 10 will represent the network address and dot 11 will represent the broadcast address. So if we remove these two, we have a range from 10 to 20. So that's the main reason. So we'll do the same thing for this other wireless router, which is wireless router 1. So just pause the video, then do it. Okay, so we have configured all the devices with IP addresses except for laptop 0 and laptop 1. So these will be configured automatically using the DHCP server because of these two wireless routers. So now going to question C, which says passwords are commonly used type of authentication. Configure the following passwords on router 0. Console password as passcode. So let's start with the console password. So under router 0, click on router 0, then CLI, which is command line interface, then exit this. So now under the privilege mode, just say conf t, which is configure terminal. Then for the console password, it's line con 0, then enter. Now we'll say password. So as they have said, the password should be passcode. So you say passcode, then login, then say end. So you are done with that password. If you want to check your password, just say exit, then it will require you to enter a password. So the moment you say passcode, but it won't show the need to enter, it will just enter your router. So if you try to exit or log out on this router, try to exit to log out from this router, you can see you'll be required to enter a password. So basically a console password is just a password which is there to put some securities on your router before accessing it. Then the question goes on by saying privilege password as KMU 123 So again we'll go back into our router, then remember our password was passcode and now the privilege password will enable us to be entering a password before even accessing the privilege mode. So we'll just say conf t enable. So here you say enable password. So what's the password? They said KMU 1234. Alright, so as simple as that, just hit enter and then end. That means you are done. So let's try to exit this privilege mode. So the first password was passcode, and if you say end to go into the privilege mode, it requires your password, which is KMU1234. Then enter, you go into the privilege mode. D, one way of protecting data during transmission is to encrypt the data so that the hackers cannot read the data even if it's intercepted. Configure SSH on router 0 as it is secure remote access method. So basically SSH is just a protocol which requires users to enter certain login credentials to access something remotely. So it's there uh, to put some security on your when you want to access something remotely. So as you have seen, we have said we need to put SSH on this router 0. So I'll go back on this router. So the password was passcon. Oh, alright. So just say conft. Then first thing for SSH, you need to change the host name. So say host and the name you want to change it to. For example, my name is James. So I would say okay, James Soko. So the moment I hit that, the router will change to James Soko. Then the next thing you need to say IP domain name. So you need to give it a domain name such as www. Okay, so IP domain name www.jamessoko.com, but you can put anything because the question hasn't stated what's the host name, the IP domain name. So after doing that, now you can start configuring SSH. So you start by saying crypto key generate. So you write crypto key generate, then RIC. So basically what RIC does, it's a public key which is used when encrypting certain data. So you can select the number of bits you want. So for example 1024, those are the bits I want. After that, now you can say IPSSH version 2 is it's recommended for SSH. So just select version 2. Then you can see that I've enabled SSH 1.99. So after that, you need to put the line VTY, so works along with SSH. So line VTY, it can range from 0 to 15. If you want, you can say 0 to 4, but the maximum is 15. So line VTY from 0 to 15. After doing that, we can put the transport. So just say transport input. So transport input for this one is SSH. If you're configuring telnet, you just say telnet. So I won't put any password as we know that SSH needs a certain password because basically we have already done with the passwords and the question hasn't stated any password. So I'll just say end. Then if I want to check my configuration, I'll just say show run. So show run, when you start hitting enter, you can see the passwords which were enabled and IP SSH version 2 with that domain name and everything. So that's it for that question, which was question D. Now going to E. Configure the SSID on wireless router 0 as cyber 1. So we go where there is router 0, then tap on it. Then where it says wireless, just click on wireless. Then you see the SSD set as default, so change that to cyber 1. So the question is saying cyber 1, like that, cyber 1. So you need to make sure that you save your configurations or settings. So again, the question continues saying configure WPA Personal as a wireless security protocol on wireless router 0. Okay, and put this paraphrase. So again, we'll go on this same wireless router, which is 0. Then wireless, we click on wireless. Then under wireless, we go where it says wireless security. So here, the security mode, you get WPA Personal. Then the paraphrase, as you can see from the question, it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So after that, you save your configurations, save settings. Okay, so now remember this laptop 0 must be connected as shown in that topology. So you go under this laptop, then under physical you need to switch it off, then remove this, then you need to plug in this, which is said WPC 300N, because our router is 300N. Then you switch it on. Now after switching it on, you go where it says, so don't mind that connection because this router has no security. So you go under desktop, then we have what we call PC wireless. So under PC wireless, now you go where it says connect, then you wait for it to load. So we need to select cyber 1, then connect. So it requires to enter a paraphrase, which we know it's 1 up to 9. So once we are done, you hit connect, then you can see now your wireless router is connected. So that's how we do it. Now E, we're going to F. Configure the SSID on wireless router 1 as cyber 2. So same thing again. We go on this wireless router 1, click on it, then wireless. Here we just change it to cyber 2. So it's cyber 2. Remember to save your configuration. So save settings. Then the question says configure WPA Enterprise as a wireless security protocol. So again, under this wireless router 1, we go where it says wireless, then wireless security. We select WPA Enterprise. Then as you can see from the question, it says since laptop 1 and wireless router 1 will be authenticated using Radius server service on server 0, define login credentials for our wireless client as username cyber and password class year 1. The passphrase used for this wireless router should be 9, then going down to 1. Okay, so remember, Radius protocols need a server. So a server is this one. So as you can see, the IP address for our server is 192, then .168.50, then .5. So you do that. Then the shared secret, as you can see, it's class year 1. So you will say class year 1, class year 1. So after that is done, you save your configurations like that. Then now, if you want to understand what's happening here, you need to understand how these wireless devices connect with the use of the server. So it's more like this laptop wants to be authenticated with this server. So for them to be authenticated, they need to know a shared secret with this wireless client, which is class year 1. So under this laptop again, you need to go where it says config, then under config we have this setting which says, okay, wait. Okay, so let's make sure first it has that wireless port by switching it off, then remove this, then enter this wireless port as we did. You switch it on, then once you go under config you can see wireless. So under wireless now you need to select the same thing as the question states. So it's WPA as you can see. So it's WPA. So the user ID as the question states, you need to be what's that, so cyber, so it needs to be cyber. Then for the password it needs to be class year 1. So it means the laptop and the wireless router know this password now. So you need to go under desktop now, then check the configuration. So as you can see the configuration was given dynamically, but unfortunately there's no default gateway. So in such a situation you need to change it to static. Then let's follow the range we are given. So for this wireless router which is 2, we are given a range we can start at 30 going up to 50. So from that range I'll select maybe 33. Then the default gateway or the subnet mask, just leave it like that. Then for the default gateway, as you can see, it's .2 for this wireless route. So once that is done, you can exit that. Okay, now remember the server needs to authenticate this client, so it needs to know the details about this client. So under the server you go where it says services, then under services you go where it says AAA. So AAA stands for authentication, authorization, and accounting. Okay, so now the client name, here the client name you need to put the client name which is wireless router. Remember the SSID for this was cyber2, so client name is cyber2. Then the IP address for this client, as you can remember, it's .2 because it's even shown on this default gateway, so it's .2. So now we have a secret which we all know as class year 1. Then we are using radius protocols. So once you say add, you can select that, then you save it. Now we have the username which was cyber for the laptop. Then we had the password which was class year 1. Then after that just add if everything is correct, then tap on that and hit save. So you are done. From by doing that you just need to wait for it to authenticate each other, because authentication means proving user identity. So the server would like to check if the laptop is authorized to access that wireless route. So there's no need for you to connect it. Authentication just happens automatically, provided the secret or the key which is being shared is known by all the parties communicating. So we just need to wait for it. And then once it has connected automatically without doing anything, it means that your configuration are correct. We forgot to turn the service on, so you need to turn the service on, not off. So now that we can start waiting for it to connect. So let's just wait for some few seconds. Okay, so I won't pause the video. If it won't work out, we need to redo it again, and if it works out we'll just proceed to the last question. So it has delayed because I forgot to turn the service on, but now that it's on, it's just initializing for authentication, then everything will be smooth. So we're still waiting. Okay, so let me counter check everything. The service is on, cyber 2, class year 1, password class year 1, cyber, okay, and then under wireless security, WPA Enterprise, correct, class year 1, correct, laptop, so laptop, the wireless, WPA, okay, so cyber, class year 1, okay, correct. And then let me see the default gateway, again is correct. Oh, so the last thing we need to do is under wireless we need to change this SSID from default to cyber 2, because our default is now cyber 2, the SSID for this router is cyber 2. So now that everything is correct, we don't need to wait that much to be authenticated within no time. Okay, so now as you can see, it has been authenticated. So to counter check, so this is a little bit trick. Under wireless, as you can see, we have SSID changed to cyber 2. Then wireless security, we have this server, and we have this shared secret which is class year 1. We are using advanced encryption standard AES. Then after that, under this laptop, we had to make sure that the WPC 300 is inserted to give wireless connection. Then under configuration wireless, we select WPA, we put the user which is cyber, password class year 1, then we change the SSID to cyber 2, make sure it's on. Then under desktop, if the default gateway is not corresponding using DHCP, you put it under static, you do that. Then after that we went to the server, then we have AAA, so make sure the service is on. You put the current name as that SSID, which is cyber 2, the IP address for that wireless router, and after that we just make sure that the secret corresponds to the others, which is class year 1. We're using the radius protocols, you add, then save it. Then for the laptop, the user was cyber, then password class year 1, you add, then you save it, you are done, then it will authenticate itself. Now G, ensure that ping between PC0 and laptop 0 should be successful. So this is PC0, which has an IP address like that, which is .3. So if we don't know the IP address for laptop 0, we can just put a case like that. So as you can see, it's .32 /24. So it's .32. So because it's .32, I'll go under command prompt, and then I'll say ping 192.168.50.32. So as you can see, we are getting replies. It means the ping is successful. But in a case you want to check the IP address without doing that, you can just go under command prompt, then say IP config. For that PC, you want to check the IP address, so IP config. When you do that, you can check that IP address, that oh surely it's .232, or you can say IP config, or if you also want to check for the MAC address /o. So this is the all the details you can check, including the version 6, the mask whatsoever, the MAC address, everything. You can do that just like that. So that's it for this tutorial. This is Soko James, cybersecurity student at Kapasa, Makasa. Thanks for watching, and hope you understand. See you in the next video.